I want to run the buck sweep the way Auburn does it, and it's not buck sweep like wing T. What I used to have is a play called truck, and this buck sweep is like that. All right, so our buck sweep, we're running with our tailback, not our wing backs. So our tailback's going to carry the ball in the buck. All right, as with the buck sweep, as with all our other runs, we got pass run options off it. Okay, let's talk to the coach up here. When we don't call anything, our guys run those pass run options, and those are their standard rules. But we have 6 other two-man combos we run. We run like mini curl, we run a fade out, we run a out slant. We have these combinations, and and they're all NFL teams, and we'll just tag those out there. So when we tag something else, we can change all the combos that we want. So we actually have 8 or 9 combos we throw out there, depending on what they're showing us. And I don't know if I have time to go through those this weekend, but I will kind of put them up there for you and show you a little bit sometime this week, and you can just tag those combos on there. So you run the inside zone, and so we would say like looser, Clemson, even, Detroit. And Detroit for us is curl flat. Just curl flat out there. Or we'll run a fade go, a fade out with a slot, because of what their coverage is like. They're pressing us. I'm going to do that like immediately. And so we'll hit them with stuff to get them off us. All right, so it's as deep as you can want to get there, as much as you can drill and how much as you can put in. All right, right now we're going to talk about the buck sweep. And the buck sweep was really the big play when they had Cam Newton, because they were running a lot then. And it's a pretty good play. I haven't seen them run it. They don't run it as much as they used to. For us, it was great. All right, it was a great key breaker. We could run it in almost every formation we had. We could run it with or without motion. It was a really good, it was like a counter, and it was like a power play at the same time. So what we're going to do here is it's the buck sweep. And it used to be the signature play of the Delaware wing T, but this is not your wing T buck sweep. It's a little bit different. All right, it used to be where the halfbacks would get the ball, and in the buck sweep, where the wing T had it, they'd have halfbacks blocking down on DN. So I'd have my 137-pound halfback blocking a 245-pound Division I end. What's the point? All right? So this way, we're not going to get them guys having to block that end. So we're going to run it from multiple formations too. Our main formations that we're going to run this from is that redder and bluer and the sniffer, green and black. All right? And that's our main formations that we're going to run this from. And we went and talked quite a bit at Auburn about how they run it to get the finer points. We block it like my old truck play, and that's where we're going to reach the end man line of scrimmage. We're going to get the end man line of scrimmage reached. All right? So our perimeter player, and I'll go through these rules, our perimeter player is going to block the inside linebacker. We want to put that end man line of scrimmage as much in conflict as we can. It gives the illusion of a sweep play, but it's really off tackle. Our guards aren't going to have to do all these, major stepping points that the buck has. They're just going to drop and run. Okay, so they're just going to drop and run. It's pretty easy. Drop, step, pull, and kick. That's all they do. And in the box, they watch. In the box, the guys in the box are watching number 3, and what it is if they're squeezing, if that defensive end is squeezing, we're going to run buck sweep. If he widens for the buck, we're going to run power. Okay, so we're going to, and then when we run power O jet sweep with a power O read, he's just sitting there. So we're going to try to make him wrong with all those 3 plays. Okay, that end man. Delaware, I never even ran the buck sweep because I didn't even like having my little guys. I always had these little small guys, and they were asked to block, men, and they weren't good at that. They weren't all in on that part. All right? So I'm going to read the defensive end man line of scrimmage. If he's squeezing to stop the power, then buck is what we're going to do. If he's widening, all right, to stop the buck, then we're going to run power, okay, which we're going to talk about next. All right? To the tight end motion, if we're running to the tight end, we're going to have to get a motion guy to block down on him. So this is what we're going to do. The tailback is who's going to carry the ball in this buck sweep, okay? And he's going to be the one that's going to run the play. Now, when we run it, he's going to run across the quarterback's, right across the quarterback's hands when he receives the ball. When you see Auburn do it, they're 2 yards deep, so the quarterback actually has to step back for him to run across. It's like, so I like, it's another reason I like our tailback with his toes at the heels of the quarterback, because he can easily go right across the quarterback's hands when he's reading the handoff for the buck sweep. Tailback will read the front side guard, and he's going to make a 90-degree cut, just like the old days, all right? So if we were running 100 formation, and he'd make a 90-degree cut, because he's looking like he's running that read zone, that power read with a tailback, but he's going to cut it a 90-degree cut back, and I think you'll see what it looks like. Our guard's going to pull a little different. All they're going to do is when they pull is we're going to drop back and put our numbers right to the sideline and run straight down the scrimmage. The first guy is going to kick who's ever out there. The second guy is going to follow it in and read inside linebacker to free safety coming down, okay? And it's real easy, and you don't have to do all this. You don't have to have a degree to learn all the different steps that the buck has to take. They just drop and run. That's what we got from Coach Grimes. Now, the reason, too, is when he drops a bunch of junk. So it's real easy for them to just run straight down the line of scrimmage. Okay, backside guard's going to drop step, find the front side guard, read his block, and either go inside or outside. If he gets somebody logged, he'll go outside. If he kicks him, he comes back inside and looks for the inside backer coming over the top. Okay, I think you'll see it. There's a pass-run combo to all of them. They're the same combos we just went over. Bubble to the side of the tailback, wide receiver screen away. If he's on the hash, he runs a hitch. Same stuff, okay? Doesn't matter if it's inside zone, buck sweep, or power. Same play, all right? If we want to tag different things, we can tag it. Formations. We like to run it with a sniffer. All right, a tight end is our sniffer. So if we're in red, he's on the line of scrimmage, okay? And if he's a sniffer, he comes back and he's in that BC gap, okay? So he's the guy. Our halfbacks are A-back and B-back. Our right halfback is A-back and our left halfback's the B-back. Okay, the sniffer. He's a tight end in. Unlike the tight end and the wide receiver doesn't, he aligns for success. All right, our tailback's going to have to line for success, especially when we get to power O. It's going to mean a lot, all right? So the tailback has got to know if buck is called to the right, he's got to line up to the left. The sniffer knows that if he's got to go to the side of the call for buck sweep. He's the key blocker on the front side of buck. So no matter what we call, what formation we call, they got to line up to, the sniffer lines up to the side of the call, the tailback lines up away from the side of the call, okay? If we get motion away, motion this way, and run buck that way, it's like a counter. It's like a D-gap counter. We can run it away, we can run it two, we can run it with no-mo, we can run it multiple ways, just like we did with the zone. So we're going to put that defensive end in conflict again. When the end man line of scrimmage widens for the jet, that's when we're running this thing, okay? It's similar to belly down. No, that's the other one. That's buck now. Let's get through that. Okay. Tilt. Okay. Here's redder. So in redder, okay, we have to motion this guy down to run the buck because the end man line of scrimmage is going to block the inside linebacker. We're going to reach the end man. Okay? So we run this like this. Look, jet. Okay? So when he's coming down, it's like a jet counter. All right? But it's out here at D-gap. These guys are just going to drop step, come. We're going to reach him, pull and kick on the 50. Away, ball to the side of the tailback. They don't cover him down, we throw it. Every single time. Okay? So we call this in motion zip. All right? We might have something called a little different, but we're going to zip them down, block them on the inside edge there. All right? So here's when Coach Malzahn was at Tulsa running it. So there's the motion guy. Now, I don't even know if they were running key screens out there or not, but there's the motion. Now, they slide. We go down fast and hard. He's going to block the inside linebacker. He's going to reach the end. He reaches the end. The guards pull. He runs across and makes a 90-degree cut. See, they're not even running a pass off it. We do. There's the cut. There's the 90-degree cut right there. All right, and that's the college team running it. All right. Okay, here we are. Okay, we're going to motion them down. So right now, they're thinking jet. Okay, we snap it here. We're going to reach the end man. There's the two guards pulling. There's our little dude. He's going for the backer. There's nobody really there. And it's like a counter. Okay, here it is again. We're going to motion down. Now, it's easy playing that 4-4 with the inside shade guy. It's like, oh man, I want to run this play. All right, because this is not a good look for them. All right, he's going to come down. Here we're going to snap it. He's going to block this man. So that leaves these two guys on the edge. So we're going to block him down. He's going to block down. He's going to drop step and pull. Drop step and pull. Block away. Block him. So there's the motion. Snaps it right there. Okay. They got him right here. They pull. There's the edge. We just get him logged and he just gets outside. Got it again. Now he cuts it up inside. Here's the, all right, now here we can probably see those guards pulling. Let's get that back real quick. All right, now, they're going to total drop step. See them get their shoulders totally turned to the sideline. Just like that, see? Straight down the sideline. They're going to run, blocks down. They're going to kick the edge. Now, the 24 is a pretty big guy, and the little motion guy is like 130 pounds. But all he's got to do is, see the difference? I mean, he's just got to wall him. Okay, and that's how we're going to run it out of red. Okay? Now, if we were to run it, we have not run it. We have not run it back this way. But if we did, we would have to have them block down on that end. So we haven't done that yet. We might do it. I'm not sure. Okay. Now, we mainly like to run it out of green and blue. All right, so now, here's a sniffer. So we got green, buck, odd. So it's green over here. All right. If we were to call even, the sniffer would have to line up here and the tailback would line up in that spot. But what do we run? If we put motion here, we could run it with motion or without motion. If we ran it with motion, it would look like jet, power O. And when he arced, this guy would think that, am I, as a jet? Am I getting red? Or we could run and kick him, or we can log him with a buck sweep. So what we're going to do here is we're going to block down the Y, or the sniffer. He's going to block inside shoulder and outside thigh. He's going to log him. Because what's he doing? Why are we running it? He's squeezing, right? He's squeezing for the power O. Easy. All right? So when he blocks down, if he squeezes, we got him. Split end man line of scrimmage, must block the inside backer. So he knows he's got to line up no less than 10 yards from the end man line of scrimmage, probably 8. So he's going to drive down, block the end man line of scrimmage. Key screen back that way to the side of the tailback. All right? Now, we can't, we got to run wide receiver screen because these are 2 slots. We can't run the bubble because he's back. So it has to be the wide receiver. So they know that. So they know if they're like this, they got to block wide receiver screen. If they were like that, they would have to block bubble. That make sense? Okay? So here we go. All right, here we go. We got black. He's on the line of scrimmage. He's back. Sometimes we'll have another call where he's up and he's back, even though it's in black and green. We'll have a little acronym to say that. All right? So here it is. Now, wide receiver, I don't believe this idiot doesn't block that guy. But we pull, get upfield, not too bad. All right, how you don't block the inside guy, I'm glad he's graduated. All right, here it is. Okay, if we're going to the trip side, so we call green buck even, it means we'll go to the trip side. Now we get the speed out with him away, okay, but we have to block the edge. So that's our RPO, okay? So now we can block it with trips. All right, so here it is. Okay, so now End man is he's got. So we really want to get his head out here. So right, we're pressed, so we could run the spade. Okay, he runs across. He cuts it up. Okay. Okay, here's green again. All right, now, he does a good job, little 6 of blocking down. Okay, we'll go back and see it from here. Okay, now, 35, we had to use our sniffer. He's 5'8", like 190-pound little nasty kid. Okay, can't play anywhere else, but he can do this stuff. All right, a little fire plug. So when they block down, we want to. This is the defensive end. We want him to try to get his inside shoulder on his outside thigh. Okay, we want to block down. He's going to drop, step, and pull. There's the drop. And see, he has to take that straight drop so he can clear him. Okay, they got a straight drop here. He's going to run across his hands and then 90-degree cut. Okay, now there's an edge player coming. Oh, what are you doing? And there's the hole right there. Okay, here it is again. We'll go to the. So if he's pressed, we told him to run the go route, the fade. All right, when they press like that, they're probably going to take it away. He runs through. There's the guards pulling. He gets outside. Decent play. Okay, now we can put it with motion. So when we put it with motion, is it jet? Is it, what is it? Okay, so now we got green with motion. So he's going to motion across. He's going to log him. Boom, right there. Now 81 is going to Georgia. Okay, he's 6'6". He's like 270, long and lean. And we're blocking him with a guy who'll never play football again, ever. That guy, this is his last game of his life. Doesn't do too bad a job. We get the kick right there. He bounces it, and get okay play. All right. Now we got motion again. Now we're going away from the two-man side. Okay, this is Tulsa doing it. There's the motion. Now they're going deep. We don't ever deep. We just put them straight across. For us, that's what we want to do. When they do that, they do all the reverse things. I just like fake and jet. Okay. So here's the wide out. He should be blocking down on him. They should reach the end man. He should log that end. Right there. He's got him. There's the 2 guards pulling. And that's what the college team looks like. Okay. Now we're going to motion 2. So we can motion away or we can motion to it. So now we're going to motion it like it's jet, and we're going to bring him behind with a buck look, just like that. So you got how many different ways to run it? That's a lot of different ways. You can run it to, you can run it away, you can run it with no-mo to the trip side, you can run it no-mo to the other side. So you have like, what's that, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways to do it. All right? Now, why he just kicked him out, I have no clue. Work, though. Okay, here it is with Tulsa. There's the motion. They're gonna bring him down in here and do it. There's the buck where the guard's pulling. Okay. Now, you can also do this. We were getting this, so we're lining up so it was like power, and then all we did give him was a move call, and so we moved him so we could run it. Didn't work too great on that team, but you can move the sniffer around if you want. That's why I put that in there. Okay, that's basically the buck sweep. Okay, real short version, easy play. You can run it with motion, without motion. You can run it with, you know, that green or black with a sniffer, and you want to do it when that guy's really, really squeezing.